Welcome to the Cult of Comics podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Brown, and I'm joined again today by Josh and Sean. How you guys doing today?
Another day in lockdown.
The sun is still out there somewhere.
The sun will come out eventually. As you speak in, suddenly it's there, and I'm blind. All of a sudden, it really did just come in. What the fuck happened? It's been pouring all day. You just broke the sound in your own computer. How does that feel?
We'll see how it sounds.
It's going to sound like a horny cat that's being stabbed by a very spiky penis, because cats have barbed penises. That's what they howl at night. Anyways, welcome to the Cult of Comics podcast. Man, I just live to make you just shocked, Sean. I really do at this point. I just do. Anyways, welcome to the Cult of Comics podcast. If you've never heard of us before, I don't know how you found us, but thank you. And if you're watching us for the first time ever, you should go into this knowing that we have a very not so okay sense of humor. What?
If you have heard of us, how?
Yeah, who are you talking to? Phillip?
We don't get views.
Fucking narc.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Dave!
So,
Hey,
I hear you enjoyed Justice League. Right when you unfollowed me from Twitter, Instagram even.
You bastard. Well, welcome to the Cult of Comics podcast. If you've never been on the show before, welcome. We are a comics media podcast. We talk about comic books of the week. We talk about comic book news, comic book movies, etc., etc., etc. And in this episode, today is Sunday, March 28th, we are going to be talking about the comic books of the week. This is episode 5000. It's been a very long pandemic, and I don't know if anything is real anymore. I'm thinking that these are two real people that I'm talking to at this point, but the other night I woke up talking to what I thought was a person, but it ended up just being a trash bag that was left by the front door for some reason. Anyways, so in this week we're going to talk about...
It's probably more the mold than the
oh
loneliness.
My God. Okay, really a quick aside, actually, because that actually freaked me the fuck out. There's been a crazy amount of green, black, white, and pink mold growing in my room, in my bedroom.
It's the Power Rangers.
It's the Reading Rainbow.
It's rare you get all four together.
I've never experienced that much mold growth on one of the most weird locations. It was the windowsill coming out of the wood. The wood must be too porous or something. But, I mean, this explains why I've been having crazy, vivid dreams at night.
I don't know. And why Do you live in a very wet environment?
I live in Washington.
I know.
That answers your question. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it definitely is a very moist and tepid environment, but I would not say that this is an environment that causes that to grow that hard. I mean, I've lived in 17 apartments.
It's because you didn't wash your cum rag.
Oh my God.
You know for a fact that I use a dirty sock or my shirt if I'm wearing it.
My point still stands.
Or one.
Do some washing.
I just do the Louis C.K. measure. I just wait for somebody to enter the room, and then I just kind of like position myself like upside down, and then just do it on my fresh new shirt. If you don't know, like I said, we're a very inappropriate podcast. Mostly me. I apologize.
Mostly.
This week we're going to be
only.
It's mostly. It's
only.
Mostly me.
Only you.
If they knew half the shit you send me, let's be honest.
They're never going to know.
They're never going to know. So this week we had actually a pretty interesting week. We're going to start off with Alien #1 by Phillip Kennedy Johnson and art by Salvador Larroca. That's right. I did steal that from you, Sean. I am surprised by this, I guess.
Tell me what you don't like about Larroca.
I fucking hate Larroca. His faces, the hands are uneven, the body proportions are strange. He's a tracer. He's a confirmed tracer. He's been a confirmed tracer for 13 years. He did the, actually maybe even longer. It depends on when that Iron Man run came out with Matt Fraction. Yeah, that was the run that he was caught tracing. I'll send you a link. We've had this conversation on the podcast before. Salvador Larroca and
Greg Pak.
I haven't paid too much attention to the hands. I'm gonna go through this again.
Not Greg Pak. Greg Pak is a writer. You're thinking of
the guy who did Hulk with Greg Pak, whose name escapes me at the minute. Greg Land.
Yes, Greg Land didn't do Hulk.
Yeah, he did.
When did he do Hulk?
He did like Totally Awesome Hulk, whatever it's called in All New, All Different.
Do you mean the covers? He did the covers for those. I don't know.
I
If
thought he
the
did.
interiors.
I think he did the interiors.
He's been mostly a cover artist lately. I'm not surprised by that because I wouldn't really want to hire him for much else anyways. Because when he, you know what? I just have to show you this just because it pisses me off so much. There, I'm sending this into the chat.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyway.
yeah, Greg Land and Salvador Larroca are both confirmed tracers, and it just pisses me off. If you look at the image I'm sending you right now,
The scene where the guy opens his front door to his son, his face is too big for his head.
yeah, it is.
Is it? Wow. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, no, there's a lot of things about this that are you can appreciate about this. I really love Philip Kennedy Johnson's opening sequence. I love the way that he has the relationship between the father and the son written.
The writing in this,
me.
I really liked. Yeah.
Everything about the writing is fantastic. I really hope Salvador Larroca gets kicked off this book because I don't like him at all, and I feel like that is detracting.
Let him do the first arc for consistency's sake, and then take him off.
Yeah, at this point. And I actually try really hard to not be a total fucking dick about people who are creators in the industry. He's not one of those guys that I care about. I will just call it out like exactly like I see it. And if you do reference photos,
the people might not be drawn that well, but I do like the sets.
I thought the 2-page spread with the xenomorphs I thought was really nice.
I disagree.
Okay.
I did not like that at all. And I also really don't like the weirdly feminine looking xenomorph. The queen? That's not the queen. That's not what the queen should look like. And that's also a ripoff trace again.
Of course it is.
And I recognize that shape and characteristic from something, but I can't remember what
it is. So do
I.
You're right.
Right? Salvador Larroca is a fucking tracer.
Maybe.
I
maybe it reminds me of something. I don't know. But I do like the backgrounds.
Yeah, I think yeah. It is just the faces that catch me off guard. One thing I will say about faces though,
because there's some. Yeah, go ahead.
The thing about face I did like was it was very clear from the character's first panel that this was Bishop.
What do you mean?
From the Alien movies.
Oh yes, I forgot that's what that character's name is. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But that again, I feel like is another one of those.
You should look the same.
So the thing I was going to say was that if you have reference photos that you want to draw from that, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Why would I have an issue with that? But I have an issue with when people are very clearly like, "Hey, I have no original talents. Let me just copy this and then call it my artwork." Like, come on.
Hey, man, it takes talent to trace.
You.
I couldn't do it.
Wait a minute.
To know.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Oh my god, I'm even more mad now. The dad is as a trace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling it up right now. I just found this. I don't know where it is.
Okay. While you're looking for that, I wanted to comment on, I mean, you're talking about laziness. I got another more lazy thing. So when he's at home and his son goes to use the bathroom, he looks over to the wall and there's a couple pieces of paper. You know, when he's focusing on the picture of him and his group, there's the text right there, some notes on the wall. It's just the lorem ipsum text.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just really lazy just to leave that there instead of just, you know, you could either blur it out just a bit more so we couldn't make that out.
Yeah.
Or you could fill that in with like just a little extra flavor text of some sort.
Yeah. I just sent it to you guys. Tell me that this guy is not
the same guy. That
is literally the dad. I told you, he's a fucking tracer. This is all he's good for. He can't do anything original. I don't know why. And I don't know why he keeps getting work.
Is that his artwork?
That's him tracing, and that's some random dude. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know if he's an actor or his dad or something. I don't know. But that's literally him. That's literally the guy.
Would you guys like to guess my favorite part about this issue?
Was it the end sequence where
No.
the shitty kid gets his just desserts?
No, it was not. It
What
was
is-
the title page where it basically establishes that Alien 3 isn't canon.
Why
What do
does
you
it
mean?
say?
Why?
How do you figure that?
Well, because on the credits page, it mentions Alien 1, it mentions Alien 2, and then it's like, now it's this year and this is happening.
But Alien 3 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, remember Alien 3 is like 1,000 years in the future or some weird shit. Remember because she gets frozen in the tube
She's
and they
cloned,
thaw her
isn't
back
she?
out. No.
That's Alien
4 is when
Resurrection.
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Alien
but
3
Alien
is the
3 was when the ship escaping Hadley's Hope crashed onto the prison planet.
correct.
Yeah, I thought that was set not long
I
after
love-
Aliens.
I have a weird nerd boner for the fact that you can recall the name of the planet.
I've got the credits page up on my.
Ah, you bastard.
Yeah,
Damn
I know.
it. You
Put it
have me.
away. False alarm.
I was about to whip it out right here.
But yeah, like, okay, if Alien 3 hasn't happened yet, then fair enough. But like, this, like, it's set before it, so it could wreck on some stuff. And I didn't like Alien 3 or 4.
Well, you're wrong.
Have you heard the story? Why am I wrong? What do you like about
I just-
Alien 3 and 4?
The dog xenomorph, and I really love how fucking out there weird Alien 4 was. Like she ended up being like half xenomorph somehow because like it was
Yeah.
too like mixed with her blood. That was
Alien
weird.
3 was directed by David Fincher.
No shit.
I know, it's weird. Even he was like,
So weird.
yeah, that wasn't my movie.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Alien Resurrection is 200 years later.
Ah, okay, cool.
Have you guys heard the story about how James Cameron got Aliens greenlit?
No.
So he went into like this was straight off the success of Terminator. He went into a meeting with a load of Hollywood heads and got a whiteboard. And he was like, he wrote Alien on it, and he's like, you know this hit movie. And then he added the S on the end and drew 2 lines for it to make the dollar sign.
No, he did not.
You can Google it.
No, he did not. That is too
And
comical.
The movie was greenlit that afternoon, apparently.
Do
Are
you guys know anything?
Fucking kidding me?
Do you guys know anything about In-Hyuk Lee? Who did the
Yeah, he's a
cover?
really talented
I know
artist.
that I like the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a pretty famous cover artist at this point. I don't think he's ever done interiors that I've ever seen. He's a let me see if I can pull up anything that he's done in specific. I know he's going to be doing the cover for Predator. Yeah, I think so. He's done some of those really famous paintings that you see at cons of like sexy Gwen Stacy when she's like being taken over by the Venom symbiote, Spider-Gwen. Or there's a couple really, most of his stuff is digital from what I can recall. He's basically like Art Germ in a lot of ways. He uses a lot of the similar light sourcing. You know what? He did a cover of Punchline just recently.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's the one of her. She's got the circle makeup on her chin, nose, and cheeks, and she's kind of pointed over to the side. You remember that at all?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, he's a really talented artist, and I've appreciated his work quite a bit, especially since he doesn't trace.
Yeah.
You know what? Marvel Zombies. He did the covers for Marvel Zombies. Yeah.
All right. I was getting maybe like
yeah.
shit. Is it Jones who did Kingdom Come? I was thinking
The
about
covers.
that.
That was Ross.
Yeah, that's it. Ross. I was thinking
Alex
about
Ross.
him. That it kind of reminds me of that.
I can see why you would think that. I would say that this is this is more clearly Asian influenced style of like facial structures and everything. You can't see it in this Alien cover, but I mean, he's a good artist.
I was going to say, what
Yeah.
facial structure?
So any of the female faces that he ends up drawing always end up looking kind of anime. That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Just
he's
a
a
few
really
more
good
things I
artist.
want to know about this issue. So we get the like alive inside thing for the pod, which reminded me of aliens.
Mhm.
With Ripley
Yeah, I want to know more
locking
about
herself
that
in there.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to get more flashbacks to that time throughout the.
I'm more interested in the flashbacks than the current story, the
Uh,
present day.
I mean, I can see why you would feel that way. I personally am invested in how the relationship with the father and the son is, because I usually don't like stories that revolve around a character that's clearly just a piece of shit and just being like, I hate my dad, ew, fuck the government, that kind of thing. Because
But I think we don't know what his history is yet. Like, clearly, like Weyland-Yutani were responsible for his brother's death.
yeah,
There is
in
some
some
motivation
weird way or
there.
another.
Yeah. Also, at the end, we get the tease of that door that says Alpha on it.
Mhm.
Yep.
What
It's
are our
probably gonna lead
theories
up-
there?
Well, it's Philip
It's got
Kennedy
the queen.
Johnson.
It's gonna be
so
it's gonna be the woman xenomorph, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, at this point, I kind of anticipate this being a very like body horror-esque, book, and I'm pumped about that.
Yeah. We already get a bit of
Um,
body horror when they're going through the lab.
A little bit, yeah. I was surprised at how well this was done because, like I said, there's a lot of things about this that you could really fuck up. You could fuck up the fact that this is set in the very distant future. You could fuck up the universe of aliens. You could fuck up just making boring characters and just making this a good gore story. But this is well written. I thought that there was a lot of benefits to this. I think the art detracts from a lot of that, but I think the writing's strong enough that you don't have to worry about that too much. And if you can push aside the shitty artwork.
I've seen a lot of mixed reviews of this online for the writing as well as the artwork.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What have you heard?
A common critique I've seen are people saying it's building atmosphere without building characters, which I disagree with.
I disagree. Yeah, immensely. Because
I see that.
I feel like you can build atmosphere and characters at the same time, and I feel like it can still be strong. It's issue 1.
For an issue 1, I think we've been introduced to the father, and
we cover a lot of ground.
Hinted at, they've hinted at a past there. They established a relationship with his son. There's only so much you can do in an issue 1.
Don't get me wrong.
With an alien story, you need the atmosphere as well.
With a second issue, I mean, at that point, you have to make the choice to say, okay, well, I need to pull the trigger here and make you. If you're not invested by issue 1, issue 2 is the one that makes you invested. I want to see somebody get fucking transmogrified or something. I want to see what happens with the dad. I'm very curious to see what happens next, and that's enough for that first chapter to make you go, okay, what happens next? And then the thing happens next. Then you go, oh, I want this.
Yeah. As long as the quality remains, I'm excited to read more of this.
Do we know how long this issue or this series is going to be? Is it a limited series, an extended series?
It's ongoing as of now.
Okay, so this is going to be the first Philip
because
Kennedy Johnson.
It's got to tie into the Predator book for an Alien vs Predator comic at some point, hasn't it?
Yeah, they absolutely have to. Yeah, and then eventually it's going to be Aliens versus Predator versus the Marvel Universe.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm
just looking at the covers for 2, 3, and 4, and the covers look gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm just going to send the link to you guys quickly.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Previews World.
Salvador Larroca is solicited up to issue 4 at least.
I'm not that surprised by that. I mean, oh well. I'll suffer through a couple more issues. I mean, if it means that's what you get. I would not say he's a high tier caliber artist at this point. If you've been doing comics for 20 years and you are still relying on tracing, come on.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized that picture I sent you of that picture of the Hulk with Old Man Logan. I just realized what that Hulk image is from. That's art by Arthur Adams during the Fantastic Four run where he was on the team with Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. That's what I remember that from.
I do not remember that.
One more second.
Sure, what's up? Great radio.
They can hear the pages turning. They know we're building to something.
If there isn't a big payoff to this is how we lose our subscribers. It's because of you, Josh.
No, there's no payoff.
You
issue
fucking
4
son of a
was
bitch.
the solicit for issue 4 was like, oh, this has 32 pages, but all of these issues have 32.
Issues, yeah.
This has 32 pages, about 32 pages as well.
Are these all going to be $5 books?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Fuck. All right. Well, if that's going to be the new price for comics, I guess I'm just going to have to get used to that. Okay. Time to start stealing books. I mean, reading them legally.
They gotta pay for the Alien, the rights to use Alien.
They own it now. They bought the rights to Alien. What are they?
They gotta pay themselves, man.
They're trying to raise as much money to do like the 5 Alien movies Ridley Scott has planned and is somehow still going to do, despite the fact he's in his 80s.
Ridiculous.
Is he really that old?
He's late 70s at least.
Who?
Ridley Scott.
Oh my god. He is 83.
Oh my
god. And he's got like 5 Alien movies planned after Covenant.
No, he does not. I'm just so done. Please don't stop. Make him stop. Make him done.
There was going to be a Neil, what was his name? The guy who did District 9.
Oh, they're going to do a sequel.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, they were planning an Alien franchise with him. Then Ridley Scott was like, "Nope, I'm back, baby." And they canceled.
You know who was in Alien Covenant? Billy Crudup.
Yeah, who was?
Didn't he die immediately?
Immediately.
Yeah.
All right.
No. That was James Franco.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. I forgot he was in it.
All right, he was. That's weird.
And Danny McBride was there as well. Was this a Pineapple
was.
Express sequel?
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm confused.
All right.
Was Seth Rogen there?
He probably wrote it.
Actually, Danny McBride I think wrote this most recent one because he's been Danny
McBride wrote the most recent Halloween movie.
Yeah, he did. It was actually pretty good.
It was good. I liked it.
It was surprising.
It was the best sequel.
How do we guys feel about this Alien book? Are we going to continue reading it?
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
All right. Moving on. Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #1. Who's the creative team on this?
It's assorted.
So we got Trini Howard, Ben Percy, Al Ewing, Ken Lashley, Sarah Pacelli, McCree, Jacana, and Fernandez. So we got quite a big selection here. This is continuing that kind of trifecta of color palettes. Well, technically it's one color, but that montage book, that collaboration book. And what did you guys think about this?
I didn't read it.
I'm mixed on this.
I kind of feel the same. I felt like the one that was the most readable was the Al Ewing story. And that was the third story in it. I kind of felt like the first one was really confusing.
Yeah.
Because I understand what storyline that's taking place with. It's referring to the Maximum Carnage storyline. And that's fine. But the thing I'm confused about is the weird recall of this guy in ancient Rome or something, and I don't really understand what the hell is going on with that. He's talking
is whispering sweet nothings of humanity's blood-soaked past into Cletus's ear.
Yeah, but like, I don't really understand like what the hell was the point of that entire sequence. Was just like him talking to Cloak from Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah,
and then being like, hey, you think humans I'm bad, you should check out this. And then it recalls like this weird, like
how thirsty he is, trying to find his love.
And he's just trying really, really hard to get with the freaky lady. But the art in this was really cool. But I just don't really understand what the purpose of this weird flashback sequence, because it's not really a flashback, right?
It's this is very... It could be. It could be a story.
I just don't understand what the purpose of this is, or like what timeline this even is, because Carnage didn't exist until Eddie Brock and Venom rebonded back in the prison, and then Cletus attached to the extension, and then that was how Carnage was born. There's this guy who comes out, Lucius Morris. He pulls out this weird scepter through a series of dead bodies, and then fights through, and he's like reignited with his livelihood, realizing that he's alive. His bloodlust comes back out, goes into a town, and then tries to hunt down the first person he can see. and he finds a woman holding a baby, and I just don't really understand. Is this a real person? Do you know anything about this?
No.
It's just Maris.
I meant to look this up.
I don't really know. I just don't understand what this is. Maybe this is a historical thing that I just am not familiar with, but I just felt like that was really esoteric. And even if it is,
It's a love story, dude.
I guess. Okay, so apparently he was a Roman military officer and senator who was appointed suffect consul sometime between AD 203 and 214. He was... I mean, there's really nothing on here about him except that he was a real person. I don't see anything else.
Just a lone survivor.
A retired veteran of the Roman army, inherits a farm. So yeah, I just don't understand what the point. The point I guess I'm trying to make here is that like this character came out of nowhere to tell a story that I don't understand the purpose for, and I just don't understand what am I reading? Like I'm happy that I was reading this while I was on the John at least, because I feel like that was the best time spent reading this.
All right. Well, I like the second one. The second story. It's kind of like
okay.
A Jonah Hex style character played by Sam Lloyd. Not Sam Lloyd.
This is the Benjamin Percy storyline with art by Sarah Pichelli, and this is Sarah Pichelli at her best. She's one of my favorite artists. She's got seriously... It's a weird thing to see line work like this because she can have something look blocky but smooth at the same time. Her anatomy always blows me away.
Sam Elliott. That's it.
That guy absolutely is Sam Elliott. That's who that is. There's no doubting that whatsoever.
Yeah, but I kind of imagine him like Jonah Hex as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, like the combination of the two. I feel like the message for this storyline was supposed to be about how there are some people who seek out violence because of greed, but then there's others who are just greedy for blood. And I feel like that's the simplicity of this like really small story.
Huh.
And it's this man discovering that maybe he in himself was a person who was bloodthirsty as well, and that's why he was a perfect vehicle for this Carnage symbiote.
Maybe.
But
I was thinking like there's always a bigger fish. Like you may think you're the biggest and the baddest, but there's always something worse.
I think that that's the point, though, is that because it's that realization that there is something that's worse, that's what made him realize that he is also bloodthirsty. You know, it's that he didn't understand why this person he was hunting was a bloodthirsty monster until he ended up discovering that he too was that way. That's what it kind of came across to me as.
Okay.
I just want to call
hunting him.
Yeah, I want to call out just really quick the way that the red is highlighted around the silhouettes. My favorite thing about this, I feel like if you just had Sarah Pichelli just doing this entire book, this would have been my pick of the week, probably. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to read it for the story, read it for the art because it's really fun.
Matteo Iacono was doing the colors on this.
I don't even know who that is, but I'm impressed. I'm gonna have to look into them more.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one's the Al Ewing story, with art by John McCree.
Great concept.
Fantastic. This was the most readable story, like I said, of all of them.
Yeah.
I would say the art in this is kind of okay. It strikes me as some of the more old school art styles that I've seen in like comic books, and I think that's why I
was gonna say with the
I kind of appreciated it.
It's supposed to look like it was printed on like old newspaper with the dots.
Yes, absolutely. It's also very comically cartoony in a way, but it also is very brutal. You know what this makes me think of? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Mostly because it's very it's got that kind of same muted color palette, especially with like this sequence here where you've got the gray background. I feel like there's been many an old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic that I've seen that has a very similar format. And then these
the bad guys do kind of look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bad guys.
the giraffe and the elephant and
The-
the pig. Yeah.
The Animan.
Animan, that's what it is. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Al Ewing does a really good job of writing something that's really brutal, but it's not over the top to the point where it could be that this could have just been another boring beat 'em up, slasher thing, but he never does that. He always tells an interesting story with it.
Did you play with a six-sided die?
Oh no, I didn't, but I did like that about this.
Yeah. There was only one way to win out of this.
You know what? Do me a favor, explain that to Sean, because I think he's gonna appreciate this.
Okay. So it told you at the start, like, you are Carnage. It's a choose your own adventure novel. So first you need a six-sided die, and that will be your willpower points. And you are it's an experiment to gain control of Carnage. So you're not Cletus or anybody. You're just an unnamed, I don't know, unnamed
basically,
guy.
Yeah.
A soldier who's basically trying to tame Carnage. You've got so many willpower points, and you've got to make him do what you want instead of giving into the bloodlust. You give into the bloodlust, you basically lose. So you have to spend your willpower points. And each time you make him do something like that, you lose a willpower point. And then you have to roll before you lose a willpower point, you have to roll a six-sided die again. You start out with 4, 5, or 6 willpower because we don't want no wimps. So if you would roll to 1, 2, or 3, you just add 3 to that.
Yeah.
So start with
each panel is numbered, so that way that you can roll the die and then discover from there how it goes. I've never seen that in the comic book before.
Either you beat this challenge, like a D&D challenge, or you go with whatever Carnage wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And once you force Carnage to do something, you lose 1 willpower point. So it gets harder and harder as you go on.
Sounds very interesting.
It's a really cool format I've never seen in a comic book before.
There was an issue of the Terrifics. I want to say it was issue 25 because it was an oversized one. The Terrifics number 25 is a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. I believe the only way to win was to first give in to Carnage's desire, which was to basically just skip over whatever this bank robbery was. If you kept forcing him to do what you wanted, you of course needed to have a starting willpower of 6. But you have to skip at least one challenge, and the only one that was really skippable was the first challenge. And that was the only way to make it to the end where you have tamed Carnage.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
It is really cool. I really enjoyed this. And like I said, the art is strange, but it works really well with this. It feels like a 90s comic, and I think that's of characters to have that feeling with. Perfect choice. Shall we move on to haha?
Haha.
Haha. I hate that this is our inside joke.
I didn't get around to reading this, so you guys take it away.
Oh no. Okay. Well, it's a pretty easy read. It's haha number 3 by W. Maxwell Prince and Roger Langridge. It's a really quick read. It's a silent issue because there's a mime, obviously.
Yeah, mostly silent. Yeah, very little dialogue. It's cartoony, like a Sunday comic.
That is why I love this so much, because this, of art styles, again, I think that this fits really well with it, down to the way that the characters' faces are drawn with their noses. It feels like a family circus almost, but really dark. I really enjoyed this. I think I enjoyed this just a little bit more than the issue 2, but
I really liked issue 2. And
issue 2 was fine. I enjoyed it. It's just that this
no, I really enjoy silent issues where they let the art tell the story, and this is the perfect thing we'd see from Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, there's a lot of little jokes littered throughout here.
Yeah.
He's going through the trash, and he basically finds a smiling clown mask. He puts that next to his face, and then he's frowning. So you're getting the tragedy and comedy
Yeah.
masks.
That's clever. I love that. I don't know why I missed that first. I'm stupid. I'm surprised at some of the stuff that they're willing to do in this. Like, there's a point where he's digging through the trash, and he finds that condom.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised, I guess, just because, I mean, it's Image, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but it just catches me off guard. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. There's a little girl, and she's, the mime is, lost his act. He can't entertain people. So this little girl shows him the frog's alive. She shows him the frog. She's doing like the Michigan J frog, trying to get him to dance while she sings.
Huh. Okay.
I forget why I thought about this before, but it seems like all of these haha comics kind of focus on some sort of delusion or mental illness.
Well, I think that's kind of a thing with Prince. I feel like what he primarily focuses on is telling a story about like the characters that break, right? And I think that the theme here is people in makeup, and specifically in clown costumes and such. So I wonder.
Well, no.
What do you think that means?
With Ice Cream Man, I don't think a lot of the stories were really about trauma. A lot of it was just playing with the format of comic books and giving weird, new takes on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Ha Ha is just his way of putting a clown through these tragedies and really trying to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first two definitely about the mental illness, but I'm trying to think about the mental illness for this guy.
Well, this one was weird because this one doesn't have the same kind of resolution as it does for the other two. This one has a lot more. It has a lot more finality to it, and it feels like maybe that was the purpose of why they have him frowning versus the clown mask, right? Is because he is the tragedy rather than the comedy of this.
Yeah. Yeah, people kind of like at the end of their rope.
Yeah. And I mean he's got this cliche, characteristics. He's broke, he's got a landlord who wants him to pay rent, he can't pay the rent. He's frustrated with how much like it feels like the world owes him something. He decides to take things into his own hands. And then there's consequences to that. But I guess the thing that I'm confused about is like this felt like it was trying to talk about his relationship with the robot. And maybe it was because he felt like he didn't have anything else, or I guess I just don't understand.
He's the only one that he can talk to. Out of most of the dialogue, that's about the only two of them that can talk to each other.
Yeah.
There's a little more dialogue, but most of the time it's them gesturing or making sounds at each other.
I mean, in some ways, this is a conversation about class as well and poverty in America, with the news constantly coming on and saying the rich get richer and, hey, there's good news for now, but how long will it last? And that felt like foreshadowing to me, but it felt like this was also still hey, everyone's living in poverty and no one's really happy about this scenario.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't really feel like there was much of a purpose towards the way how it ended. It was a good story. I just don't understand what the point was that was trying to be made was, or if there was one.
Yeah. I don't know why they threw the robot away because he was possibly defective, and then I guess he showed it wasn't defective, and now the mad scientist wants the property back.
That's a thing that you've seen in some stories before, right? Where they want something just because they like, hey, it's mine. Give me it, it's mine.
Hey,
that's the only
that
reason.
Actually works, but
then they take it apart, and then
I want him back, but just for parts. Like you wouldn't have thrown him away if you wanted parts.
There was 100. Well, the thing that I was thinking was maybe he was recalled or something. I just don't really understand, I guess.
Like,
I
if
don't
you
know.
wanted him for parts, you wouldn't have thrown him away because
Yeah,
they're taking
right,
him
and then-
apart.
Well, what
I
is the
think they
note
would
saying
want him back
specific, right?
because, oh, hey, this works now.
Yeah. What does the note say in specific? It says number 77.
Requisition.
Yeah. I don't know.
Requisition request, Unit 75, Marcel. Ooh, Marcel Marceau.
That's a good callback. That's a really good little Easter egg.
A famous mime.
Yep. I don't know.
All right.
I'm curious to see what you think about this, Sean, when you actually get a chance to read it.
Yeah, I should hopefully get around to going to my shop this week, and I'll be able to get it then.
All right. I haven't read this next one. Batman White Knight Harley, number 6 by Katana Collins, Sean Murphy, and art by Matteo Scalera.
It was a very straightforward ending, I felt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, the art's nice, the writing's fine. It just doesn't break any, like, it doesn't really break any boundaries. It does just wrap up the story.
Yeah.
And
Is that
I
enough, or is that kind of just...
I like the upgrade that Harley gets. She gets a new outfit,
Yeah.
new weapons, new lease on life, I guess.
yeah,
She found a way to be, the hero and herself, something. I don't know.
I guess looking at it like that, but I think part of the problem is they didn't know how long it was going to be. And I don't know, maybe it was just solicited wrong, or if plans really did change partway through.
Or multiple times through, because we thought this was going to be a 12 issue.
Yeah,
And
it was
and then
originally
it was
solicited as a one shot.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Okay.
hang on. If I remember correctly, it was originally going to be sold. The one shot was going to be separate, wasn't it?
There was an issue once listed, and I was talking to my shop, and they were like, "Oh no, it's not a series. Like, it's just one's English." And I went back, and I was like, "You're right. Like, it doesn't say one of however many." And then they eventually solicited issue 2, and it was like 2 of 12, then like 3 of 8, and then ended at 6.
And now it's 6. Yeah.
So it's just yeah.
Okay. Are you okay with spoilers?
Me? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, because I really don't get the ending. Because I expected something different or to continue. Because we have the director, and he's gonna have a cast of other villains, but we don't really see anything from him after the final battle. Like, he's not even in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, he
It seemed like they were gonna say, okay, well, there's no more Starlet, but at least I have all of these other characters or something.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. If it sold well enough, it could get a sequel series.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not worthy of the White Knight title.
I mean, it's part of the White Knight universe. It's all right.
It is, but those 2 series were like so good, and this is just kind of fine. Like, I can't say this is bad because I did enjoy it. It has some cool ideas, but just when it's in that same line as White Knight and Curse of White Knight, especially, it's just kind of a bit of a letdown, in my opinion.
Do you think Hector is going to come back, or he just served as part of the Starlet story?
I think he's dead.
All right.
Yeah, I think like wasn't he introduced in like issue 3 or something?
1 or 2.
Was it? It definitely wasn't issue 1. It might have been 2.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe like issue 2 then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, you're really selling it to me at this point. I mean, there was kind of a reason why I hopped off it, but I guess I was expecting there to be a little bit more of a payoff with this. That's a little disappointing.
No, it ends with like a little like a Dark Knight Rises moment where Bruce gives the Batcave to Harley, or like a new Batcave kind of thing.
Yeah. A penthouse in the city.
Yeah.
She's got her own Batman setup.
Yeah.
Her kids are playing with a Batman toy. They have Batman toys in the Batman universe.
Hell yeah.
I like to imagine that was already in the Batcave and Bruce used to play with them. But yeah, and Jason Todd he was in like half an issue of the series and didn't really have a big role at all.
Yeah. The first, 3 pages where Harley's confronting the Joker and breaking up with him during Jason's beating. I don't know how much that was really necessary.
No.
I guess that leads like right up to the original Batman White Knight, but
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. Yeah. Just very lukewarm series.
There's a couple sketches after the end. Like a concept for 2 by Sean Murphy, one for the concept, a rough concept of Harley's new outfit, but I love this sketch he did at the end. So nice.
That is nice.
I mean, the
Harley
character design is
Noir.
not something that you can argue with, right? I mean, it's just really pretty. I mean, even the variant cover for number 6 looks good.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else to add.
Cool. Was it just you and I that read this, Bud? Action Comics 1029?
I think so, because Josh is a terrible person who doesn't want to read good Superman stories for some
I'm
reason.
confused about this, man. Yeah, it's really weird. You're a big Superman fan. This should be right up your alley.
I mean, I haven't collected Superman for a long time. It's just.
I mean, I'll tell you right now.
I checked it out just for a little bit, but.
This stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, this is not Bendis anymore. This is Philip Kennedy Johnson doing this. This is the guy from Last God.
I know.
All right. If you're not a fan, you're not a fan. I really liked this. It's Philip Kennedy Johnson and Phil Hester, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. This art style is kind of different, but it still feels kind of. Is this the same guy from Superman?
Yeah.
Or is it different? Oh,
same guy.
So
I described it
because
last week as Michael Oeming meets Ed McGuinness, and do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm confused because I thought that this was going to be a separate storyline, like the House of L stuff going on, but instead this is the.
It was a two-parter setting up the new status quo he wants for books. So now after this, Action Comics is diverging one way and Superman's diverging another way.
That's fine. Okay.
And
I mean, this was still a good story.
Yeah, one of them's going to be a Superman book, and one of them's going to be a Superman and John book.
Okay. I'm for that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I really like this. It followed on from the last issue where John was like, the really powerful moment of John, like, Dad, I'm from the future. When this wormhole opens, you cannot go to it because I know what happens. And it followed on nicely, and yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it enough that I would say that this is the level of Superman that I kind of want to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels very wholesome, but it feels like a sci-fi adventure the way that it should be told. And Kennedy Johnson he's really good at writing interactions. And I'm happy that he's not like really preachy with his characters.
Yeah.
I'm also actually curious about like what happens next with this. I'm not gonna lie too. I thought that this was gonna be the end of what's her name from the Bendis comic? She's the secret mobster boss. You know what I mean? What her name is?
Oh God, what was her name?
I can't remember it all. But I thought that was going to be the end of it with her and Bendis. I'm surprised to see that this is still going to be something.
Where did she show up?
She was in Superman 29. Remember, she was like she was monitoring what Star Labs was doing. She was the one who basically hired them to monitor.
That was Amanda Waller.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. From Suicide Squad?
Yes. How many other Amanda Wallers exist in the DCU? who are
Well,
big,
because
stocky
there's
black
been a couple,
ladies who
like-
work for the government.
I guess the reason I ask is because there's been some like universe changing stuff, you know, like with Blue Beetle at the end of Suicide Squad, and I don't know, it's just weird.
There wasn't any universe changing stuff. Read Suicide Squad.
Characters from different universes.
Read Suicide Squad.
I did,
Then why are you like, oh, like different Blue Beetle?
because it was a different Blue Beetle. Different.
It was Black Mask with face changing technology.
Did I not read the last issue? Am I stupid?
You might not have read the last issue. You probably are stupid.
God damn it. You told me that was the last issue.
Blue Beetle was tied up in the closet. He was still good.
Of course he was. All right. Well, that just ruined that ending for me, so thank you, but that's okay. I deserve that.
You told me you read it. I'm not to blame.
I know. You can hear it live on air, folks. I'm just stupid. Yeah, what else did you think about this?
I really like the dynamic it's building between him and John. I like how the time travel is something that's relevant here. Because in Bendis' run, it was very much just like, oh, hey, Dad, I'm back from the future.
There it is.
Let's go fight some bad guys. I brought Brainiac with me. Hey ho. Whereas here it's like there is a weight to it. Like John now knows stuff about his past and his family's future. And it's like, how does he deal with it? Not letting the time stream get disrupted, but while not letting his dad die. And it's yeah. Kennedy Johnson's taken this book in like a really powerful direction, I feel.
I agree, and it's nice to see that there's so much humanity with these characters, because I just felt like that's like a missed opportunity with a lot of people. Bendis still did that well. Bendis still had a lot of interactions where Superman very much like waned in his Boy Scoutiness, and he was questioning his own decision making. And Bendis did a good job of writing Superman and Lois. I feel like he did an okay job with John, but this is much better, John.
I didn't like what he did with Superman and Lois for like the first half of his run. Later on, it was okay, but the first time it was like, oh, Lois has randomly run away and is writing a book because she doesn't want to be Superman's girlfriend anymore.
I didn't really mind that
weird.
Because the way that Greg Rucka read that, I think paired well with that. Mostly, I was just happy to see that there was such a loving like atmosphere between the two of them. Like they're just very much in love with each other. Also, that was the most Lois I've ever seen Lois Lane written. Like Dan Jurgens has a tendency to write her as very much a like not weak, but like I just picture Lois Lane as a very strong character, like empowered. And I feel like there's a lot of people who don't write her that way. Bendis did a good job of writing her that way. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the upcoming issues, because knowing Kennedy Johnson, I mean, I feel like there's going to be a lot of loss. And I just want to know what that's going to be like. Do you know who this character is at the end of the book with a baby head?
No.
What?
I've never seen that character, but that's a fascinating character design.
We mentioned a baby head, and Josh is back in. We've sold him on it.
Right? Okay, so Josh, let me paint you a picture here. Picture Cosmic Ghost Rider. Everything from the neck down is like animatronic or robotic or something. And the dome is a literal baby in fluids, like just kind of floating.
Okay.
It's a really cool design. I don't know who that character is, but I'm fascinated. And his speech text is the same style as Dormammu almost.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This is very clearly going to set up the Worlds at War stuff that was in Future State, but I don't know, man. Kennedy Johnson is fucking brutal. I'm fascinated to see him on Superman of all books, but I really like this so far.
Yeah. And I think his writing is typically very depressing, but I think even here he's done a hopeful story, even with some depressing tones in it and some heavy tones.
I feel like he's heavy, but I would say that if you've read Black Science, that's a depressing book. Like there's times where I've read Black Science and I had to put it down halfway through.
Yeah.
Because I was just
okay,
like,
let me
Christ,
rephrase.
Man.
His writing is typically not optimistic.
I would respect that sentence. Yeah, I would say that's fair.
In Last God, the characters went through a very dark, heavy journey.
Dude, that's saying it light. I mean, how many people fucking died and lost limbs? And I was half expecting someone to just be like, yeah, by the way, he ripped my nuts off.
And then the Queen was like,
No biggie.
hey, let's do it again, guys.
Right?
New team.
Same time next
round
week. Start a pilgrimage out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you're not really big on a lot of the big two right now, Josh, but I mean, I will say this. If this is something that you are curious about getting into, I mean, we're both really enjoying it so far. I didn't want to start collecting Superman, but I mean, I really like this a lot.
Yeah, I was planning on reading this digitally, and then like when Worlds of War was so good, I was like, right, this is physical.
That
was this the one that had the film reel?
No, that was Batman Superman.
Oh, right.
That was a
read
team-up
that
book.
All right. No, I don't think. I think I might have looked through the Action Comics, but I don't know.
Boo.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you an issue 29, and you tell me what that how that strikes you. Okay.
Yeah.
The next one I didn't get a chance to read, but did you read this, Josh? Detective Comics?
Not me.
I didn't get a chance to read this one.
I really like this
too, because it's Dan Mora. Yeah, tell me about it.
So, Detective Comics 1034, written by Mariko Tamaki, art by Dan Mora. So this is sort of the first issue really dealing with Bruce as a street level character, because Bruce Wayne has lost his billions. He's gone rich person broke, so he still lives in like a nice neighborhood with a nice house. But one of my favorite things in Future State was Bruce Wayne's relationship with he was living with a roommate, and like that dynamic really amused me. And then in this, he's going to like a barbecue at a neighbor's house, like a meet and greet type of thing, and it's just Bruce Wayne really out of his element, and I love it.
It's weird to me that there were so many people who were shitting all over Mariko Tamaki taking over this title.
She's very hit or miss.
Well, no, the thing that they were giving her shit about was she or they. I don't know what their genders is.
She.
Thank you. There was a lot of people who were like, they're gonna make the same fucking joke over and over again online that you see. They're gonna turn Bruce Wayne into an Apache attack helicopter. And why? Because Mariko Tamaki is a shorter, stocky woman, and apparently that's what makes you a social justice warrior writer.
Jesus,
that's enough.
Yeah,
I fucking hate edgelords. Hey, edgelords, fuck off. Go on to fucking Reddit and jerk each other off.
The artwork in this was really, really good.
Of course it is. It's Dan Mora, right?
Yeah. Seeing Bruce have to interact with different people was a really nice scene of him really having to like open up kind of and be Bruce Wayne.
If the books are going to start being $5 from now on, I don't know if I actually want to pick these up anymore.
Yeah, my pulls are definitely going to have to be cut. But then we get the Robin backup story as well. And so it sets up the Robin ongoing book, and they've set up a potential conflict going forward. So what's a good bird to fight a Robin but a hawk? Connor Hawke is back.
Okay.
I was expecting more of a response there.
Why would I?
Because he's a character from past continuity who's back.
When's the last time you read a Connor Hawke story?
I don't think I've ever read a Connor Hawke story.
Exactly. I'm
still excited for him to be back, though. Like, stuff's becoming canon again. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the last time I read a Connor Hawke story was Kevin Smith's Green Arrow. Has to have been. It's been forever for me.
Yeah, he didn't really have a big, if a role at all in the 2000s.
Well, he took over the mantle for a little bit, as so many characters did. When those characters die. I don't even know how Green Arrow died.
He died in a plane blew up and he was trapped on it, and his arm was like caught in something, so Superman couldn't save him without the plane blowing up before they could get him out. So Superman was there like talking to Green Arrow as he was going to die.
That's really brutal. What story is that from?
I'll have to look into it. I don't really remember.
All right.
But yeah, it was like if he removed his hand, the plane would blow up and he would die instantly. So Superman was just like, I can't save you, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right then. Fucking heavy. All right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna definitely read it when we get off the call here. But would you say that this is one of those that proves that this is going to be a good story moving forward?
I really liked it. Yeah,
The
both the main story and the background. Yeah, the main story and the backup were both really good. I really enjoyed this new street level Bruce from what I've seen so far.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. All right.
So what else did you guys read this week, if anything?
Josh, what did you read?
All right. Why don't you guys go ahead so I can write this stuff down?
Write what down?
Taking notes.
Oh, okay.
I also read Batman Superman 16 this week by Gene Lun Yang and Ivan Reis. And this told two Golden Age style stories running alongside each other through like a film reel. I sent some artwork to the chat. And just like paneling and layouts were really, really cool. And then like at the end, the film reel starts to like fall apart and like a character falls through one film reel into the other. Mm-hmm. And it's just really kind of trippy and weird, and it's doing something different, and I like that. Okay. And Ivan Reis's artwork is great.
I love Ivan Reis. Everything about Ivan Reis is great. The only reason I didn't pick this up is because I just have too much in my pool already.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's good to see an artist who's been established so long as Ivan Reis still managing to push his work in a whole new direction.
I feel that.
So this is where the those two characters, the whoever Superman's facing off against, and whoever Batman's facing off against. This is the first appearance of these two.
I don't know, because the person Batman's fighting was like an evil version of Lois Lane in a different universe.
Okay.
I don't really remember.
The Spider Lady.
What did they call her? Yeah, Spider Lady. Yep. So that's Lois Lane in this Batman's universe. Because I should say it's like a Golden Age universe, and like they're not from the same Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the Superman story, we see Bruce Wayne, like Martha Wayne's still alive and well. In the Batman story, we see the like head of Arkham Asylum has Kal-El's crushed rocket there with the a skeletal baby inside. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really interesting.
But is it a baby inside of a tube on top of a robot?
No, it is not.
And we lost him. He's gone.
Hey, buddy.
I also read Teen Titans.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was adorable.
Oh.
There he is. Hi.
You wave hi.
Hi. Me?
No, him. He's waving, but his hands are too low.
Now we have a new guest on the show. Welcome. How's it going, man?
Is he paying $10?
Do you know what $10 is, Calvin? He's grabbing the mic. He's grabbing the mic. All right. You can go back to dinner.
All right. Bye. Bye, Calvin.
I did.
Thank you for being a supporter of the show.
And subscribe to that $10 Patreon tip.
All right. So I read Barbalien, Red Planet, number 5. It was the.
Just wait until he gets back.
Holding. Okay. And there he is.
Right. Did you mention Teen Titans, Sean?
Not yet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
about to.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Teen Titans Academy #1 by Tim Sheridan and Rafa Sandoval. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's not the best written thing I've ever read, but it's doing something different, and I appreciate it for that. And it's telling a different story with a large cast of characters. There was a lot of story in that issue.
I feel like Teen Titans is one of those comic books that
is impossible to get right.
I don't think it's impossible to get right. Jeff Johns did a great job with it.
Yeah.
I think that it's difficult for some people to get that cast of characters down. You know, I mean, there's a deep history with these characters. It's not unlike Legion of Superheroes, except Legion of Superheroes is like 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
Are they treating Red X's identity as a mystery?
Yes. Well, they established that there have been Red X's before, like Dick Grayson was Red X, and then 2 people after him took up the mantle. But then
that's what I was getting from the future end, not future end, the future state, which is so far much better than Future's End.
But they tease like Dick Grayson, like, oh, my Red X mask went missing. Hope that's the last I'll ever see of that.
Probably nothing to worry about.
Yeah. And then at the end, we see a character with the mask on, like, punch and crack the mirror. So one of the new Teen Titans is taking over the Red X mantle, and we don't know who yet.
I mean, we kind of figured that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they teased it in Future State. But yeah, it's telling, I appreciate it for doing something different and telling a different kind of Teen Titans story.
I can respect that. Would you say it's... Well, actually, you said it wasn't the best thing you've ever written or ever read.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't badly written, but the writing just didn't blow me away. But it was enjoyable. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all I can sort of add.
I respect that. I read Barbalien #5 out of 5. A story by Jeff Lemire and Tate Brombal, mostly by Tate Brombal. This is the ending of the story of Barbalien dealing with his triple identity as a gay man, an alien superhero, and a undercover cop all at the same time.
That's a lot.
During the AIDS pandemic, the height of the AIDS pandemic. Well, would you call it a pandemic?
Sure, yeah.
The height of the AIDS crisis during the 1980s, and his self-discovery. This ended in a way that I didn't. The lead up to this had me expecting there to be like one gigantic, huge battle, and in a way, I'm kind of happy that that wasn't the case, because I really didn't want this to be some stupid beat 'em up story. This ended up being more about the relationships that you found along the way, but the brutality of this is what made this a very personable story to me.
Can I ask just one question quickly?
Yeah.
What is Barbalien? Who's it by? And just what is it in general? You've been describing it, and I'm like, I have no idea what this book is.
From the Black Hammer universe, Jeff Lemire, Tate Brombal.
I probably could have guessed it was Black Hammer. Okay, carry on as you were.
I'm sorry, I said Jeff Lemire. I thought that would have given it away. I've been talking about it the last couple of months.
Fair enough. I don't listen to you.
So this is one of the 2 books that are coming out of the Black Hammer universe right now. The other one is Black Hammer Visions.
Yeah, one of the 2 Black Hammer books of this week. More spin-offs next week.
This book... The thing that makes Black Hammer good to me is not just, hey, superheroes are cool. It's, hey, superheroes are cool, but look at this real shit. Look at these relationships with these people, like Barbalien's a gay man, Colonel Cosmogog, or Colonel Weird in the Cosmogog storyline is about trauma and being basically survivor's guilt. Black Hammer is dealing with all... It's like what they have in Game of Thrones. You have a fantasy element storytelling experience that's very deep, but it's real issues that are taking place. And I love it. This hurt me to read And I love that in a story. Of stories that you can read that I would recommend that you can read from the Black Hammer universe that you don't need to read anything else about, this is one of those, and I actually am upset more people aren't reading it. I strongly recommend it.
I'm sorry I'm disappointing you.
You always do, but that's okay.
Good.
I've been disappointed since day one.
Same.
Josh, what else did you read?
All right. So I've got Post Americana issue 4. That's by Steve Skroce and Dave Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
So this is issue 4 of 6, but it looks like it's been extended to 7 issues now. So we'll see if that's a typo or not, because the solicitation for issue 6 says 6 of 7. But we're at the midpoint right now, and there's a lot going on. We keep jumping around to a couple different stories. And so this issue felt like it went a lot faster than all of the other issues.
Okay.
It's not just one story being followed through 20 odd pages. We've got 3 or 4 different stories, and we keep jumping around to that. You got the people on the, outside, out in the wastelands trying to survive, and they're having their reunion as well as battles. And you got people inside, under the dome that are living the high life, and the president of that society trying to manage the fight. And then, the fight does not go according to him. We got some new characters that come in and just fuck shit up. And the crazy thing is that these look like characters out of their comic books, their TV shows. And everyone's just really thrown for a loop. But it's some other lady that's basically just for show created these androids to look and act like the characters from a TV show. They basically have a guy at the end that's like, here, this is what my, here's this comic that my forefathers brought from the, golden age of whatever we call it. And, we can predict what's going to happen based on what's going on in these comics.
Okay.
Looks like they're going to go to some amusement park next. I liked it, but it just went so fast.
This is the issue that I have with Steve Skroce is like, he's such a good creator, but I feel like sometimes things are so fast paced and I just don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah. Well, he's doing the story and he's doing the art. So he's in control. Dave Stewart's only doing the colors. And of course they have Phonographics doing the letters and design. He's always good at that.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. He was the same guy who did that book with Brian K. Vaughan, We Stand on Guard, correct?
Yeah, Phonographics and Steve Skroce. I can't remember if Dave Stewart did the colors, but they're very similar. I don't think it's set, in the same time frame.
No.
It's not set in the same time frame, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same universe, just 100 years later. It's
strange to me that Skroce has such a specific taste for this. I don't mind it. I actually like it. I guess I'm just confused about why he always has like limited runs like this. Has he ever done a long run before that you can think of off the top of your head?
No, this is really all I know him from.
Those are the only things that I can think of with him. I think he's done
I didn't collect Maestro.
Yeah, oh my god, that actually was really satisfying. That was a really funny book. I enjoyed that.
I might have read limited. The first. He does a lot of storyboards with the Wachowskis and some other folks.
Really?
iRobot, V for Vendetta, Speed Racer, Ninja Assassin, Cloud Atlas, and Jupiter Ascending.
Wow, I'm surprised.
He did the storyboards for The Matrix.
That's crazy to me. All right. I'm gonna have to pick up this book anyways.
A lot of Marvel stuff in the 90s.
Yeah. That's what I know that he had done some stuff, but that's all I knew.
But he's got a very identifiable art style.
You know what? While I'm on this, I'm just gonna put it on the list. I'm doing it.
All right.
Post Americana.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
That'll be, maybe one trade, hopefully. a big trade if it's
Yeah,
seven issues.
I mean, my store definitely has it in stock, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just like I've been putting it off for a minute because I'm just like, I got too much in my pull list, but it's Skroce, and I should be more respectful of his work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if they do extend it, do you think that this is going to be something that we can have to do like a rundown of?
Yeah, I can do a rundown of it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else you read this week?
Yeah. We've got Maestro, War and Pax, by Peter David, art by Javier Pina. This is issue 3, but more like issue 7 or 8, because this is the second limited series of it. He is facing off against the Pantheon. They've got him subdued in a vat, and they basically hack into his brain. They try and get at something. There's some oh, right. They say the Pantheon has been watching Bruce Banner since before he was the Hulk. And there's something there, but they don't get a chance to really talk about it before he hulks out. They're trying to kill the Hulk, but they can't do that while he is in the Hulk form. They want to get him back to the Bruce Banner form. There's a whole fight. He kills the entire Pantheon. They've all been, powered up, but that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's bloody, it's gory, and they trick him into turning back into Bruce Banner and kill him. And then it turns out it was all a simulation. So
really,
yeah,
weird. Peter David Strange. He's such a good writer. His stuff with Hulk was so good.
I don't know where this is going, because at some point we have to get to Future Imperfect.
I mean, how long has he been putting off building towards Future Imperfect?
I don't know.
This is like third or fourth Maestro story, right?
It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years. This is the second series for Maestro. I don't know if they're going to do another one after this. It's all right. It's nothing great.
Okay.
The art is good.
Yeah. Sean, have you read Peter David's Hulk?
No.
Okay. Would you guys be interested in doing a Peter David Hulk read? Because I would love to reread. I've only read the first little bit of that, but the stuff that I've read was so fucking good that I'm down to read the whole goddamn. That is from the 80s. That's Todd McFarlane's first Hulk stuff. Some of his early Marvel stuff. I think it was like following Amazing Spider-Man 300.
So I can't remember who did the first Maestro series, the first 5 issues, but it's got to be. I mean, Javier Pina is. Who the hell did the first one? But he's basically copying the art style, carrying on the art style of the previous artist, and they keep giving Maestro just this huge, like, baseball cap brow.
Mm-hmm.
It just does not look good.
Well, in some of the original art stylings, he kind of looks like that, right? Like when he first meets past Hulk. I mean, and then they have that cover and it says Dr. Banner, I presume, that very famous image. They have the same brow. They have that same level of brow.
Sometimes it's just beyond comical.
Do you remember what John Romita Sr.'s portrayal of him was like?
No.
It's not unlike that. It's more anatomically correct, I would say, than John Romita Jr., in my opinion.
John Romita Hulk.
That's not exactly a high bar, though, is it?
Ooh.
You would think, but I mean, personally, John Romita Sr. is one of my favorite artists, like of all time.
He just looks like an ape.
I have to find out who did that artwork then.
I don't know.
Anyways, anything else you wanted to add?
I read
God, you had a
Baltimore.
thick stack this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I read Baltimore a long time ago. That was a Mike Mignola novel with some drawings in it. And they turned that into a comic book series that ran for 40 or so. They kept doing, I mean, you know how he does stuff. He does little tiny series that, you know, add up over time. So it's like 1 of 3, 1 of 5, a 2-shot, all sorts of stuff. But Baltimore ended, I want to say it was like 3 years ago. And now it's Mike Mignola with Christopher Golden. They've made their own little universe out of this. And now they're coming back with a sequel called Lady Baltimore, focusing on his wife. This is one of his previous companions on the journey. They're introducing a couple old companions and some new ones. There's a couple one-shots coming out that are going to, I guess, expand on these new characters. So we'll see how that goes. It's just the very start. This is issue 1 of the whole series. Baltimore focused on World War I, and it's basically like the occult meets World War I. Now we're going to do that again with World War II. Like, oh, you thought you defeated everybody, but now, you know, the big evil's coming back or something. We'll see how it develops. All right. So it's an okay start.
Just okay. Not amazing. Not fantastic.
Yeah. The art is just as good as it's always been.
All right. All right then.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to shout out for comics of the week before we start wrapping up?
I think my pick of the week is Alien.
Okay. I mean, that's a good one.
Really
For me, it's gonna. For mine's gonna be Barbalien, number 5.
Most of our words the same.
Yeah. I'll go with Alien too.
All right.
Come on, Tyler, change
I'm
it.
out.
Join us.
Nope. No peer pressure for me.
Okay, I'm going to say
right,
80% of the pick this week was Alien.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big release this week. A lot of people had expectations for this. I think that it met the standard. I think the only issue that I have is just
the art.
Salvador. Yeah.
We've got a few things coming out next week. I'm just going to mention.
Thank you very much for mentioning this, because if you don't say it, I'm just going to forget it.
Yeah. So we've got the start of a new Flash series, Flash 768 by Jeremy Adams. Wally West is back, baby. He's the fastest man alive.
All right, he's taking over the mantle, right?
Yeah.
Big week next week.
Yeah.
We've got crossover number 5.
Yes.
With that gorgeous landscape cover. Department of Truth number 7, which is following on from last week's sort of more one-shot issue.
One might say,
yeah,
it could be following from issue 6.
Another guest artist with
guest
Tyler
artist
Boss.
delving into the secret archives.
One might say it follows the previous issue.
One might say you're fired from the podcast. Also, I believe, is this the final issue of Decorum we're finally getting?
I think it's supposed to be 8 issues.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Decorum.
Yeah, you're right. It's 8. The last issue's coming out in May.
Maybe. May for maybe. Last one was in December.
Before that, they were coming out monthly.
They missed November.
So it was monthly until 5, then 6 was...
No, not even.
Oh, was it not?
No. We've been... let me see if these dates are right. Issue 1 was March of 2020.
What?
Yeah, then you had the...
Oh, wait, maybe it got... maybe it probably says March, but it probably got delayed until like July or something.
Yeah, because there definitely wasn't a big gap between 1 and 2.
Yeah, because it says June for issue 2, July, issue 3, August, and then skip September, October for number 5, December for issue 6.
It just seems like, to me, the first few issues came out so close together, and then...
Yeah,
they
probably weren't supposed to, but then with COVID, they finally got to put them all together, closer together.
Because they are 50-page issues, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
it's impressive.
What do you think Hickman's going to work on next after this?
I don't know if I
don't
really
know.
care that much, honestly. Am I an asshole for that?
No.
Now, let's
Like,
go
it's
back
not that
to
I
east
don't-
of west. Let's do west of east.
West of East. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic writer. It's just like his storylines are so heavy. I just don't. To me,
Yum,
whatever
yum,
he
yum.
picks, as long as he's doing one book a month, that's as much as I need because he fills me up, dude. He fills me up harder than my first time.
There's Tyler.
Okay. We also have Beta Ray Bill #1 by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Ooh.
I need to know if you guys are picking that up because I'm hesitant.
I'll
just
check
because
it.
I am going to skim through it.
I've been reading Thor, and this spins out of Thor, so I'll check it out.
I have no issue with the fact that it's Beta Ray
Does it
Bill.
spin
I have
out
no
Thor?
issue. Kind of. It's basically just because Beta Ray Bill was recently brought back into the comics. Daniel Warren Johnson's stories are very okay. And I think that that's why I'm hesitant. But his art's fantastic. I don't know. I'll skim through it and see what happens.
We also have Nuclear Family #2.
Oh, right. I need to pick up that first one. Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so some exciting stuff coming next week.
You listed off everything I've got coming out.
Yeah, there are a few more things, but I just listed off the sort of exciting stuff.
Yeah. I really need to
And
read all of Decorum.
yes, you do. On that note, should I start wrapping up?
Yeah.
Yes.
On that note, thank you very much for listening to and watching the Cult of Comics podcast. My name is Tyler. I am in Purgatory right now for social media, but you can probably find me on Purgatory on Twitter at Purgatory Tyler. Sean, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at SeanMoore747.
And Josh is still in witness protection currently, so you will find him deep in the Colorado mountains wearing a balaclava or baklava, depending on how hungry he is and what kind of nut allergies he may have, as well as probably traveling the road with a strange St. Bernard that he found randomly in the Mojave Desert after doing a weird peyote trip with a Native American chief. I think he was a Sioux, you said he was, and you had a spirit journey, and you said that this dog... it will bring you luck. What's the dog's name again?
In the Mojave.
Yes.
Could it be more like Navajo? Maybe.
Phillip in the Mojave? Yeah, you know what? You're right. For the Navajo, you're correct. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know what?
And I think...
Tell me about that spirit experience sometimes.
Sometime. Another day.
Sometime. Is this before or after your peyote trip? You know what? Never mind. This is all wit sex stuff that I shouldn't talk about. So this is all secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. But most importantly, thank you for checking out the Cult of Comics podcast. You can support us by going on Patreon. We have the $1, $5, and $10 and higher levels, which will either get you access to the Discord server for the $1 or higher level. For a $5 higher level, you can get a very poorly drawn picture from me of maybe you. It could be. I mean, you don't get to choose. I'm not a cop, but you don't get to choose. And also commercial-free and ad-free content from us. And you probably get to pick what we're going to talk about next. $10 and a higher level, we'll have you come on the show, and you get one of Sean's belongings, probably used, probably sticky, or depending on how fresh it is, maybe crusty. If you're checking us out on YouTube, thank you for checking us out. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast formats, such as it's not Stitcher, Breaker, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pocket Cast, you can thank Anchor.fm for that because they are the way that we've been distributing our podcasts from day one. Very easy way to start making your very first podcasts. Thank you very much for supporting us. Like I said, my name is Tyler. Stay healthy, stay safe out there. All hail and have a good rest of your night.